is actually caused by all of this sawdust and all the chip that comes through.
There's no such thing as sleep for Rodi Hapati Pihema when it rains. The father of 6 is the local community board representative, but also a kind of self-appointed flood monitor. If it's raining heavily, he'll be out all night, unblocking drains and warning people if they're in danger. Factory Road in Moiriwa is one of the worst affected areas because it is just one drain, and it's quickly blocked, he says, by sawdust from a nearby mill. That turns an elderly neighbour's property into a lake, compounding his serious health problems.
It's a nightmare. For the last 20 years he's been dealing with this.
Mr. Hapati Pihema says he was alerted to the problem by the man's relatives.
Since then, actually me and my children actually come here. Whenever it rains, every 2 hours, and we clear the COVID.
Oh really? You do that yourself?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. In order to ensure that the floodwaters don't reach them. And we've done that for the better part of 3 years now.
Next to busy State Highway 1, Mr. Hapati Pihema says a row of properties have flooded 5 or 6 times in the past year because a culvert under the road is too small. Are they frustrated, the residents here then?
Yeah, they're really frustrated. The biggest problem is if something goes wrong, who's liable? And I don't have an answer for them.
Further upstream, Aotearoa Marae is also regularly threatened by floods. In 2020, the Whare was an island in the middle of a swiftly flowing river.
The whole of the art here was covered in floodwaters. All of this car park was underwater. And we got as high as being about a couple of centimetres away from going into the building.
Community champion Pamela Ann Nohe-Simon says the construction decades ago of a railway and a road blocked a natural flood path of streams on either side of the valley. As a result, floodwaters head straight down the main road, through the marae and into town.
It's heartbreaking to watch. You look outside and it looks like they've built their houses in a lake. It's that bad. But when we've had water enter our homes as a child, so I know how soul-destroying that is for people.
But that heartbreak could be over, thanks to a multi-million-dollar flood mitigation project by the Northland Regional Council. It includes a massive spillway and a new bridge, replacing a much smaller one that used to block the Waiharakeke stream during floods.
We're pretty confident it's going to be a thing of the past because we've been doing a lot of different water projects, water resilience projects, and the latest one that we've done that we've finished is the spillway here in Pukepu, which we're standing on right now. You know, when you're really thinking about water entering people's homes, it's absolutely soul-destroying. I can't say that enough and reiterate that enough. So to know that this piece of infrastructure has been put in really gives me peace of mind that our whānau are going to be okay.
The project was built on multiple owned Māori land with the owner's blessing. Ngāti Kopaki chairwoman Josephine Kemp-Baker says Hapu members felt it was their duty to look after people living downstream.
We were fine because where we are situated, the flood didn't affect us, but we knew our community had been flooding for the last 50 years, easy. Yeah, and we had enough.
Moiriwa's other problem is poor drainage, which means floodwater has nowhere to go.
I think it was the last 5 or 6 floods trying to keep people out of the water.
For Skip Kidwell, who owns the lowest house on the lowest street, that means his property is submerged in contaminated water for weeks on end.
Besides we're all underwater, the amount of rubbish that came down, the amount of sewage, have mokos in here, and like they a bit freaked out by the water, the wind, the rain.
Mr. Kidwell's stoked to see that's finally being addressed by a major stormwater upgrade, which includes a drain right through his property. Between the flood scheme up the valley and better drainage in town, Mr. Kidwell, and hundreds of other Moiriwa residents like him, may never have to fear the rain again.